Fenland Crusader here, and welcome to part 11 of the Massey 780 Special Combine. As you can see, the picture behind me, we've moved on a fair bit. The bed is now on the combine after extensive, I say temporary repair, just quick repair to get the header going, because it's a 10-foot header and I only really want an 8-foot header on this combine. But we've just repaired enough to make it go, so not to waste, so as not to waste too much time. And fitting it on the combine, doing the chains, and general bits and pieces, and running her up, which is what we all wanted to see. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll catch you on the next one. So the last little remaining job on here is to put this skirt in. Look. So I've got it all assembled up. You see me making the bits, and so all it remains now is just to tighten these nuts up, and then pretty much like that. That one's turning, so I've got to put a spanner on the back of that one, which I need 2 ends for. That one's gone tight. That was gone tight. So yeah, so that's that. You see your slots, look for the handles for the lid to slot into. So we're nearly there, and I've also done the elevator. Just swung it forward and put the one bolt in, and the bolt comes right from the inside of the hood here, through the elevator and into the tank. Just the one bolt. So that's all done. The ladder's still in the tank from when I was in there. Look, must remember to take it out. But so yeah, we're I think we're firing on all cylinders, to be fair. I can't think of any other outstanding jobs to do on this. Other than the header, of course. But I mean, I can't think of anything else. Just stood here. Oh yeah, I've just got the lid to do, haven't I? Just got to straighten the lid out for this one. Fits on there. Just square him up, tidy him up a bit. Other than that, then that's ready to go. I do need to find a exhaust clamp to put on there. But other than that, we've got it. We'll find so much for the air breather and all little bits and pieces like that. Anywhere where there's a little hole along the top and stuff, put a bit of tape on just to get it to go for this season. And then I've got some repairs to do in the hood on the top anyway, which I ain't got time for this time, but it'll not stop me from using it. I'm just doing all the stuff that I need to do to make the thing go properly, and I think we've pretty much covered it all. So yeah, headers next. So the next job begins, and as you can probably see, there's a hole in it. So I've got to get the reel off, tip it upside down and do a temporary repair of the hole in the bed. And I say temporary because I am going to change this for an 8-foot bed. This one is 10 foot and I don't want a 10 foot, I need 8 foot. But for this year it will have to do. So looking around here. Got a few bits to do. So we'll put it down on the floor, see if we can get the reel off. And once we get the reel off, I can tip it upside down. Right, so the first problem is the UJ. Well, not altogether the UJ, but the worm is a bit sticked. So I've just got oily paraffin here, but I've been washing stuff with. I'll just give it a liberal coating of that, just to see if we can ease the situation a little bit. Right, let's see if that will stop it squawking. He's getting there. Making a bit better noise. Right, so I'll crack on and do a bit more and bring you back when I've got more to show. So, as you can see, lump of weld on there, a bracket on here that holds like your divider. Somebody welded it on the back. Well, in order to get that to slide off there, gonna have to grind that off. Got the thin guard off the other side, your dividing guard, point, whatever you like to call it, the funny things really. And it just sits on top of this one, and it was fastened on there, and fastened here, fastened in there, and there's a little bolt halfway down the side, it was fastened as well. So, and this one's good, you know, no weld on this one, so it should come off there. So she winds on the winder okay now, slides up and down, so I've just got to wind it to the end of its threads and then you know, pull it off with a forklift, and then I can flip it upside down and we can see the extent of the damage in the bottom, which is considerable, I can tell you. So I'll trim that up and then we'll have a go getting it off. So there you have it. A bit tight towards the end. It's a bit dry in here, I think. Took a bit of getting off that one, did. It's it off. So now I can safely tip it upside down without wrecking the reel. So that's my next job really. Okay, so the header's off and we're upside down, half under cover. So I've been around and oiled a few bits and pieces, and elevator goes around okay. The knife is freed off, I've oiled it and I've got it to go backwards and forwards. I've still got to do these chains behind these guards, and but we did level that one up to get it moving. But because the main issue is this, it's not just a just a hole, is it? It's it's sort of Titanic proportions, isn't it? No matter where you look, there's a little bit, even a little bit just starting to appear in there, but the feet are worn out, but then the feet are worn out on my 788 as well. They need repairing. But yeah, and I'm just going to nut and bolt a plate in here because it's too big and too much to weld just a patch in there. I'm going to gutter bolt it. So you've got the flatheads inside, and the reason I'm doing that is because it's a 10-foot bed, and at the end of the day I do not want a 10-foot bed. I want an 8-foot bed. We know where there is one. It's just a case I've got to go and fetch it, but it's not just close to home. So and it's all about time as well, but we have got to make the effort and get it, so I've got it for next year, so you know, we can have a proper bed on it, you know, rebuilt, because it's got a hole in it as well, which most of them have, but we should be able to sort some of them out. You just see the elevator in there, look. So yeah, I'll get cutting it up, square it out, and then I'll find a bit of tin and see what we can do. It's only got to go for the day, so that's all I need to do. I mean, there'll be a lot of bits salvageable off it for another bed, but of course not this one. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I mean, it's Sunday night, and yeah, we've moved on a fair bit because I've been doing a bit more to my shed, so we ain't doing too bad. Right, catch you on the next. Okay, so I've been doing a bit of lubricating, freeing off, got these freed off. They were truly stuck, and this one in particular I had to warm him up to get him to move. And obviously that's your bed fixing to the combine. So they're all nice and free. Just lubricated all the chains, and all it is my wash tub, all my washings and stuff, you know, so you got oil and paraffin and diesel all mixed up. So I just use it on my chains, and it'll just penetrate in and get it going. So they're all sort of done. That's the auger drive. And did the knife the other day, and I've just done that one, which is your reel chain. It is a reel chain, but it's the chain that drives the reel. But yeah, so and the knife goes back and forwards, albeit it's a bit rusty, but I think it'll chop the corner. It's still got serrated edges on it, and I can guarantee you wouldn't want to put your finger in there when it's going. But anyway, so we're just a little bit further on with that, and I'm just still thinking how we're going to do that. Like, alright, catch you on the next. So I've just done a couple of cuts. So you can see, straw wouldn't run on that row, would it? I've got to try and run a sand around in there, it's a bit rough, but anyway, we're getting a few bits off. I might even just cut this strong back out to clean it up, so my new bit of tin will go on it, and then just weld it back in, because it's a lot thicker material. But it's not too bad you know, in these areas. It's not too bad, but ain't quite got it in the corner there. Just wants a little bit more of a cut. But yeah, I think it's a case of making it up as we go along. We'll cut a little bit and have a look, and if we're not happy, we'll cut a little bit more. But we'll get there. Okay, so we're getting it sort of squared out now. And this, what I call a strong back, I've got 2 layers of tin here. Well, that was destined for trouble, like 2 layers of tin. And this is what you find on the other side. Now the straw would slide along that lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's a good job I took it out. And the thing is, when I put my finger on this side and on this side, it's lovely and smooth. So it was just this area that had rotted, and it's, like I say, it just wants cleaning off. I'll weld this piece back in. Yeah, when I get my new bit of tin laid in. I say it's only going to be a rough job, because at the end of the day I'm not keeping the bed. You know, I put my effort into the one I need, which is the 8 foot. I've just got to get this to go. Seems a lot of work for nothing, but there you go. It's if you miss this harvest, you've got to wait another year, ain't you? So we've got to crack on, just try and get it done. So that's where we're at the minute. Well, we're getting it patched up slowly, getting it all tacked up, and a bit short on tin for the corner, but I sort of put a little piece in there. But it'll do the job. It's not, if you like, a good job by any means, but it's a good patchwork quilt. But the problem is now, like, where I got a big hole and get my hands in to play. Now I get so I can't get behind anything, because the auger will be in its way on the other side, so that'll not be good. But it'll be good enough to do a day's work, and then we'll run a series on repairing the 8 foot bed after harvest. So yep, sort of mildly happy with that. Right, so another little patch here. I don't know whether you can see it, but I crimped the edges, look. And what that allows me to do is, when that sits in there, you've got the thickness of this bit of metal, and because it's crimped up to go over the top, so this bit of metal and that bit of metal is on the same level, if you can understand what I'm saying. So on the underside of that, when that's pressed down, the two bits, the underside of that and the underside of this, is all flush. So you ain't got stuff that can drop in and butt up against this bits of straw and stuff, and hopefully go for a smoother flow. Now I haven't done it on this big one, because there's just too much to do. But what I've done with this one goes underneath that one, so as the flow comes round underneath, it's got no edges to butt up, because the edge is opposite way. And the same on here, can't butt up against this edge because it's on the outside, so it's going off the top of that one onto this one, and off of this one onto the underside of that one. so you know it sort of gives it its flow, so stuff can't get caught up. I can't sort of do that here. Well, I suppose I could, but I've got the little gadget that you can put the crimp on with. It's hard on the old hands, but it does make a fair job, and when you're done, like it just fits in the hole, because you just got these little bits recessed down. So I'll just weld around that now, and then if you could put your hand in there, it would be relatively smooth, right? You know, and I've got to do the same with that one there, and there's odd little pit holes in it. Where's that one gone? I'll just which I shan't bother with, but I've done the main ones, and it'll get me going, and that'll be fine. Okay then, so bit of patchwork there, look. Got that one in now, so it's let in, so it'll all be flush underneath because it's been recessed down. And not the best welds in the world in the place too, but I'm only dealing with 1 mil bit of tin, and because the other bit's red rusty, so it don't go too well either, even when you clean it up. But it ain't going to fall out, and I've done stitching here and there just to keep it in place, and then the rest is just tack to stop it from vibrating and doing. And it's wedged in tight, it's underneath the angle line. This lip has gone inside, and this edge is on the outside, so it's got a piece cut out, so it goes in there. So when that's in there, it's jammed up tight in this corner. So I mean, that on its own mechanical sort of fit, it ain't going to go nowhere. And like I say, it was shoved up tight, and then the corner's welded up. So yeah, it'll do the day's work, so it'll be all right. And so I've just got that one left to do. Okay then, just for comparison, then, my neighbour's out with the New Holland, and he's combining the field dead opposite my workshop doors. Well, what do you call it? Just you know, the opposite side of the road. And yeah, there's just a bit of difference to what I'm doing. Oh yeah, and then tomorrow I'm going to tip it up and put it on the combine, because like I said before, we need to get the other one out and just put my head around it, grease it and oil it and so forth, make sure she's okay, and then basically we've got 2 combines ready to go. I've got chains to put on, the gas to put on and all that, but I'll get it tipped over. It's because it forecast rain for tomorrow, but then the forecast rain for today, but it didn't come. So the other one's down the shed at the bottom there. But yeah, so bit more progress today, and it'll do what I want it to do, and we'll be sorted when we fetch the other bed, and we've just got to make the effort to go and fetch the bugger. Right, catch you on the next. Okay then, so that's all the patches done. So that'll be near enough for this job. We'll get it on the combine and whirl it round. And the thing I didn't say rather, was I couldn't get the auger to turn round, and I think it would basically do because the fingers in the auger were stuck. I tapped them about a bit and lathered them in you know, juice, and finally got it to move. And with the bar just stuck under here now, she rotates freely. I've took all the chains off the other side, so I haven't got nothing holding it up. And this chain there is underneath the sprocket, so it's hanging loose, so it can't get fouled up. So yeah, so really it's I'm just going to go and pick it up and put it on the combine and get the power chain on, and give it a whirl up. Just make sure the elevator's okay, and then also by doing that, that means my straw shaker, you know, the corn pan shaker, drum shaker, will be yeah, it'll be working, so we can make sure that it's all okay. And I've just noticed on this bed, look, but it's got a patch on the corner there. So it's had some grief at some point in its life. Not quite sure what happened there, but that's definitely a patch overlaid. So yeah. So she got a few stories to tell by the look of it. I think the combine's had a few stones through it in some point in its life, because there's some awful dints in a place or two. But so right, we'll open the door and we'll get it out and get it on the combine. Probably give it a wash, just get some of the green off it first, perhaps. But she's ready to go. Okay, so I've got the bed in ready to put on the combine. I'll give it a wash. I just cleaned it up in general, and then I remembered about my hydraulic fitting, which fits on there, and the fact that the steel pipe was busted, and the steel pipe is there, and the end was busted. And so I found a 3/8 hydraulic pipe, and I'm going to yoke up with the hydraulic, just a flexible pipe. So I sort of done that one. So we're almost ready to put it on. We'll put it on and then we'll fit the reel afterwards. I've got that belt to find there to drive the knife. I've got a few belts here, so I hope we can find one. So that's about it. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay then, so it's like 20 to 9, 8:30, 20 to 9. Okay. The light's fading. I'm just in the end of the shed with the combine. And I need to do this skirt. Or seal, or whatever you like to call it. So I took the bolts out. There, look. And there. And there. And there. Okay. Which is that piece of strip there, look. That bit there. And that's your skirt, look. Okay. But it's also riveted through. You see the rivet there, look. And that one. And again, look. And again, and again. And this plate is the bottom of the elevator. Yeah, you guessed it. It's all welded on. Don't come off. So that's handy situation. That ain't just a 5-minute job to change that one, is it? So I've just got to grind the heads off. Well, actually the hollow rivets, I'll be able to drill the bottoms out and get them out. But that's just going to take a bit longer to do. But as you can see, it really needs doing, especially there. Look, it's buggered. So judging the way things are going, and of course you've got a little tiny strip to put on here as well. But we're going to run out of time and not get it on tonight, Friday night. So I'll plod on and get this stripped apart and get organised and get a new bit in and get riveted up, and then I'll have to put the bed on in the morning, which means I might postpone the video again until Saturday dinner time again. But there, okay, I'll crack on, try and get it done. Okay, so that's drilled the rivets out. You can see the bar there, look. The skirt's hanging out. Put a ripple or two in the bit of tin for it to knock out fairly straight. So yeah, a bit of a rough idea, that one. Anyway, I'll get the bits and pieces in the shed and in the workshop and get a new skirt made up. Okay, so I've had that out, bolted it back in, riveted it up. So that will pretty much do the bottom skirt. I'm not using all my best stuff on it because, like I say, we're not keeping it. So so as long as we've conquered the most of it, I mean the skirts on the combine will be no problem because I mean they're staying. Them ones. Yeah, and the likes of that. But on the bed, I've just used the old shaker skirts. Which are plenty good enough for this job. So yeah, I mean 10:25. So with a bit of luck, now I've done that, I can pretty well come out here in the morning and start putting it on. Okay, so we're getting a step closer. I just keep looking and keep thinking, well, have I got everything done before I put it on? But I think I have. So yeah, so this has got to go up to there. So I need to lift this up a little bit more and then drive into it. I think we're pretty much lined up. Looks fairly good, doesn't it? Right, get teleporter out and pick it up. So looking what I can see here, I've got to put the knife belt on first, because the pulley is right tight on my main flat belt pulley, and if I don't put it on now or just hook it over, I'm not going to get it on. And I'm not 100% square, and this side all looks good, and the other side, although these will just slide about, I start to put a bar in and just give it a tweak and just see if it lines up. So I'll take fetch some tools, and then I'll bring you back when I get there. Okay, so I've oiled the pins up. The other side went in quite well, so we'll pop them in there. Might vibrate a bit, I don't know. And Bob's your uncle, as I say. So she's in. And then we've just got to fiddle now and put a split pin in there. This side's not too bad, but the other side's a bit more awkward. And then, because what remains is I start to put this I forgot what you call it now. the reel chain. It is a reel chain. Yeah, we've been through that before. But yeah, I've got to get that on before I put this on, because it's got to go around the back. So I must do that first. I mean, I wanted to run one at once and see how it all went, but that means putting the sprocket on, taking the sprocket off and putting it back on. So I thought, well, we'll just go and we'll just do it nice and steady, ticking over, make sure everything's going okay. I mean, it should do, but from what I've seen of some of the bits on here, like, you know, you've got to be a bit careful. So yeah, I'll progress a bit further and I'll come back. Okay, so the bed's on, beginning to look more like a combine now. Will do when we get the reel on, but I've just put the chains on, and I think I might have to make a new block or something for this, because it's nearly at the end of its adjustment and I've still got a bit of slack in the bottom here. But I've got to get it going and see how she works out, just to get it free off and that. So I've got my clutch plate in the back of that. So it's a case now, just run her up, just ticking over nice and steady, because everything now is going to move. And I just need to walk round when she is going, just to check on how things are performing. If I put that there, hopefully you'll be able to see all the things in motion. So we'll have a look. Don't forget, this is a first for me as well as you lot. I've never seen it working. So okay, out of gear, give it a go. okay. I'll drop it down on tick over and go around with the oil can and just lubricate a few bits up. And when I get the top door on, a couple of the meters, I'll open it right up. Before I do that, I'll just make sure I've got everything lubricated. Well, that's it really. I mean, still lots of more tweaks and bits and pieces to do. But at the same time, you know, with the key, the fact we've got the bed on and got it working. Yeah, we've got the reel to do and bits and pieces, but, you know, by next episode, it's all be up and running. I've been out this week and sprayed the corn, so